bar has been started by my grandfather, Fernandez, and then it was carried forward by my dad, Damian Fernandez. And then, like after that, my mom tried running it for a while, and then like we were young and we were in college and then stuff like that, so she could not really keep up with the whole place, so we rented it out for a while. And then COVID happened, and as destiny says, it brought us all back to the same place. And I think initially, like when I was planning about the place and talking to them about it, like how are we gonna do things, how are we gonna start things, because we've never done anything like this in our careers before. Like I'm an accountant, and she's done economics and everything, and like studied and doing her MBA and stuff, and we are like both of us like we were like, what are we gonna do? And the bar has been started by my grandfather, Fernandez, and then it was carried forward by my dad, Damian Fernandez. And then, like after that, my mom tried running it for a while. So we were like, let's just do this. I had an image growing up, always seeing, my grandfather behind the bar. And there used to be, I still remember there used to be Pepsi, Good Day, and he would never let us drink the Pepsi because it was too expensive. So it was just like 5 rupees back then, but like we had to have the Good Day. And I would see all the villagers, all the workers come and stop by. And it was fast. It was just the Sopo area. So it was just people coming, and it was a lot of feni, like a lot of feni. Like the room that we are actually sitting in right now with the carom board used to be barrels of feni. And there used to be some other whiskies and liquors which I don't think really exist also anymore right now, except the Stag and a few. And so it was just a neat big peg with a Good Day soda. They would pour it and then chuck it in front of my grandfather one, and then second they would take one and go with chanar and some packets and sit at the table. Finish their second one, go kick their Luna start, and they would just leave. And it was just a whole pace of just all of your neighbors coming by in one place. And it started off from this. I really wanted that image of a self-serving bar. So when people were like, why did you keep it self-serving? I was like, I've seen my grandfather do this and I know it works because I've seen him do it. Then everybody knew my grandfather also because of it. Initially now everybody knows me also because of that. So it came by through that idea, and the food actually came into being because my mom had a small food cart on the road called Philo's Food Cart. And from there, I've even while growing up when I was here, for the feasts and any occasion that's there, any function that's there, I would always see mom cook a handi of admas. So, it would be stew, it would be tongue roast, it would be some chicken gravy, it would be whatever she could make the best, and she would just keep that handi in front of my grandfather and go in. Because she would not really interfere in the whole being, and she would keep that, and grandfather would keep some plates. So people would come and that day, and then there would be a small thing written there that this costs so much, and there was no quantity issue. So you would just take your plate, take some admas in your plate, take your peg again from my grandfather, sit on the table, you eat your bread, you eat your thing, you drink it, and you have a small conversation with everybody. So all the feast people would show up here, and then, when I seen all of that, I was like, I have to inculcate my mother's. But I couldn't do the same system, obviously. Over here now, buffet system would have gone mad. So we did this whole thing where we started off the menu, I think, with just 5 or 6 items. My sister frying fries inside the bar on the first night. And Domingos Fernandez, a very handsome man, by the way. Like, if you see his old pictures with a suit and all, you'll be like, what happened to us? Like, that's him. That's my dad. Again, very handsome with polo shirt, proper tucked in belt, jeans, loose. Very, very good, very handsome guy. So the thing was that, so my grandfather was a playwright, he was a theatrist. And so actually the bar was initially not started here, it was started on the main road. It was a small little tavern, which we are still trying to find that picture. I still can't. There's a small little story of me drawing it on that table there with a chalk. He used to sit there, my grandfather, and he used to have a few drinks, and there was nothing to eat but like chana packets or something, and he used to just wait there. There was a small little bridge coming up, and it was filled with coconut trees, and in the middle of that was Cajy Taverna that time. There was a small metal board outside. And so most of the other theatrists which were there, they used to come to my grandfather to kind of like see if what they've written is correct or not. And while doing that, they would sit there at the bar, and then my grandfather would explain to them, "Na, pa yahan change karunga, yahan change karunga." And like sometimes my grandfather would write plays for the church also, or some plays for even the Tyats for our feast also. So I think initially maybe he like wanted to do it as his hobby to get his friends together, and I think I did that same thing by when I started it. I got my friends together, and for a whole different purpose of getting people together. And I think we are kind of doing the same thing. Yeah, so this is in the 64th when he initially started there, and then he moved here later.
Sure, he moved by 1970s. So we tell people that it was here since 1970s.
Yeah. That's why that door is so small of the washroom, because it was not meant for people to go inside to the washroom. It was only meant for him to come out. On the first night itself, all of my friends showed up, and like a college reunion for everyone. And then slowly they started telling their friends started showing up with their friends, and I started to slowly build a community. And I think today I can proudly say that Cajy Bar is a huge community bar, much more than a place for people to come and be at a restaurant, then come and be at a place where the next table that's coming is probably some friends from your college. So
we didn't want to kind of go into the very fancy way of putting a table, putting a plate, we want to do it very homely, where you come, you stretch yourself and you sit. You don't have to come even dressed. You can come however you want to come. So everything was actually just telling him, can we do this?
Yeah.
And we used to do it. And we had a house partition, so we had a lot of windows, windows and mirrors. So we were like, okay, chalo, let's just
That's
he used to just sit.
From our house.
Yeah.
So.
He used to just paint out things on the window and all, and just put it up. So nothing was actually really planned.
Yeah, actually it was. I think it was an unplanned thing. Like even from the crates, they were just an idea that came by, and then we have Sachin with us. He's a great help. He's just like, "Arey, don't worry, I'll make it into a chair." Yeah. So he's that type of a guy. So we would just put things together, and I think the rest of the things that you actually see here are by far all things that are actually been used by my grandfather before.
Yeah.
Like from the doors to the sofa to the partitioning that you see in the middle of this, to even the bar counter, which is the main counter there, everything has been
we
there.
We didn't try to touch the...
Yeah, we didn't want to touch and move things from here. We tried to salvage as much as we can.
Yeah.
And it just came together. Even the grills, it's just... It was,
I think so the closest part of the bar is the Adamo, the one that you used to close the door. So that was very close to me when I was in security to us. But when the house got partitioned, it was just lying there, and we turned it into a glass holder. That's the closest thing.
We pour beer on it.
Try to manage the kitchen as I have my staff also now. I try to focus more on my...
She's always been a good cook, I feel. She has 4 brothers, 4 elder brothers. She doesn't like cooking. She never liked cooking. She was forced to cook. And from forcing to cook, she turned into a really nice, her dishes were always...
So she was one of those who would be at home while her 4 brothers are gone fishing, and then they're coming back. So she had to make food for all of them. And I think she learned a lot of recipes from there only, from her mom and stuff. So even when she came here, by cooking and getting things done here, just to make some income for the family was a huge thing. And so we loved waiting. We both used to just wait for feasts to come by, because on the feast day, she used to cook the best. She was proper chef. And she used to do all of these things to make a great dish. And I'm like, why don't you cook like this every day? What's wrong? You don't like us.
And she kind of was very baffled about it. Will I be able to do it? How will I be able to cater so many people? I still
remember practicing during COVID for us. It was like a feast type of a session, because she had to practice doing croquets and all at the how she's going to make it at the bar and stuff like that. So she would just keep trying.
I really tried to do all the recipes and start with the bar.
Yeah, and we tried to inculcate a few, as I said, the admas, the stew, the tongue roast. So these are 3 dishes of hers which are very popular. Where we get calls from even her village people saying that "Ago maka 2 kilo stew kormo bhai," and then she had to make it for them. So I'm like, people are gonna love it the moment it's served at the bar. So yeah, I think admas and the stew are really popular here, including the tongue roast. And then the remaining dishes are actually dishes that came together by the customers. They were like, hey, why don't you just take this beef together and just make it into a skewer, the beef chili, and she was like, okay, fine, I'll try something. And then, so she tried with the skewers, and then she tried a green chicken coriander gravy, and that also turned out to be great. And I think when she makes things for people here, she makes it out of love. And she takes a lot of effort because she's the one who wakes up at 7. I wake up at like 1 p.m. Sorry. But like she's the one who wakes up at 7, makes sure there's fresh fish, there's fresh products. And she loves the whole Mapsa round. She's a small little gunda there where she's roaming, and then people are coming with bags, buy, go. And then she's the one who does all of that marketing, and she comes back, and then she's fully tensed up about how is everything gonna be ready or not.
She cooks like she's cooking for the family.
Yeah.
She doesn't have like fancy restaurant style gas and all. She really cooks with our handis and with our
It's actually all of our things. Some are missing now.
She's a great chef.
So we were planning the place during COVID.
Yeah.
So when COVID was going on, we were inside broke, and we were like, oh, are we gonna make money?
I think so. COVID was a year that really taught you that if you have a family business, that's what you got to pick up. Because he was like an accountant, Mama was a receptionist, I was in college. And when the whole halt happened, we realized that these jobs are not something that's gonna, it can go anytime. So when the vast thing that came to his mind, I was like, how are we gonna do this? And I'm a Pinterest junkie, so I went on Pinterest. We made tables out of tires, and so everything was like made by us. It was special, everything, every small detail that we put
We had
up.
to take care of cost also. I don't even remember stocking up my bar for the first night, to be honest. It was just, okay guys, I have this, and and then this food is there. In case it gets over, it's over. And then with that money, I think we kept overflowing, and then things started happening, and it kept going, rotating, and then eventually it picked up to a point where we could run like a proper show. We learned it like the hard way, you say.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know.
We started it, and then soon everything went back to closing down, and there was restrictions and stuff.
It was also COVID had taught people to be really humble and kind. So even when you would say, hey, it's over, nobody would be like, arey yaar, what is this? They would be like, okay, it's fine, man, don't worry. I understand, get me something else. So initially, when I priced it very low, I did not know anything about pricing products at all. Like I was like, okay, this is 40, let me just make some 20 rupees on this. And it was just out of mind. And when I kept it, and I seen so many people come by, and they were like, oh, this is really affordable, but I'm at the same time still making money. So like it's satisfying me, we are having all of our needs met, and it's meeting their needs as well. So I kind of figured it out that it's not really about making that huge chunk of money through your business, but it's also about letting your customers have a good time and let it not affect their pocket to a point where they don't want to come back. And I think that really drove me a lot. It was also about afterwards, once I started to cater to a lot of people who are really well-to-do or really wealthy and stuff. I would always see the wealthy people and the people who are doing so well. Among them, people who are not really doing so well, and they are having the same drink that they are, and there's no distinction among both of them. Like that just clicked for me, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it like this because it's just so beautiful to know that it's like harmony. There's no distinction between the rich and poor at my place. And I think that's the reason why I still keep it the same. It's a little bit difficult because with the challenges you can have to filter the crowd and who's coming in, who's going out. But like I think we have that little bit figured out somehow or the other. For me, this bar is more about the heritage of it. Like look, it came from my grandfather, it went to my father, now it's come to us. And I wanted to carry forward saying that it's something that's from the beginning and it's here. It's right here in Mainathpati, Arpora. And I wanted to be here and here only. Like I got a lot of opportunities, I've got a lot of chances, I've got a lot of business opportunities, investors coming and being like, hey, just give me your trademark or just give me your name and we'll do the rest. And I would just be like, no, it doesn't make sense to me to take something that is very close and very, like they will not get it because they will not have the heart for it. Because they will want it to be like a business. My business is not a business to me at all. This is my heart. So, celebrating other people's birthdays because they turn their birthdays into our birthdays because there are like so many cakes and there are like people just roaming around with 4-5 cakes in the middle of the night once they are done cutting the cake. And I think a birthday at my bar turns into something else altogether. Like anybody who wants to celebrate their birthday, I usually always get a call, hey bro, I'm coming with 10 people, and that 10 people turns into 15, and then they realize the other college students who they know are already here, so they come, they join them. So he's,
basically.
Yeah, so his birthday has turned into a mini party without him actually planning it into. So I think that really makes you happy behind the bar counter, knowing that so many people just came together and then he had a great birthday. I think birthdays are something that really make me happy here. Yeah, I think that, and I think maybe celebrating our anniversary every year. Anniversary is something that,
That's
yeah.
really cool. I like that.
Yeah, because it's more people showing up to celebrate your bar anniversary than you itself. Like, you're not really.
We forget also.
We forget also, and then
see
people
cakes
come
in
in with
oceans
cakes and they're
anniversary.
like, bro, it's an anniversary tonight. I hope you all know. Like, I come here every year. And it's people who don't even come for a bar for a year, but they show up for the anniversary of our bar and they come and they celebrate it. So,
Yeah.
I think that's also something. 17th of October. That's when we need to go.
I think when we initially started, the bar word itself was a very taboo topic. Like my friends also, especially girls, were like, "Hi, you're going to the bar?" No, like bar is not a place that girls go to. But when we started, we saw a lot of other people starting to come to bars and taverns, and the entire topic of bar hopping and tavern hopping started just after that. So a lot of youngsters trying to open up more establishments, like related to bar and alcohol, and we've got that change. I at least saw that change was there when we started.
Yeah, like right now, actually, it's a lot of people looking at it like a business opportunity. But initially, during COVID, it was an opportunity given to a lot of people who had taverns in their house which were just shut.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, they were run by their grandfather, but then nobody wanted to take them up. And I think a lot of people were like, hey, we've got a business right here at home. Why don't we run it? And today also, like, there are various other restaurants starting up. I feel slowly, if like our people kind of like just realize that we've got gold in our own hands and we are not really using it at all, we're just keeping it inside the cupboard, is when actually something will awaken. Yeah, like everybody's got something or the other their parents have given them. It's just that you just need that little bit of a kick to start it, and I think that will actually start it. But to preserve this place, I know I have to work very hard. Because I know Goa is changing as a whole. It's becoming into a fully other different commercial destination altogether. And I think that's also one of my worries sometimes. And that's why you see me doing a lot of reservations and making sure I filter crowd so that I can preserve the whole place and, and like get people together so that it's still a community bar. While we are still catering to people who are from outside Goa, or not from here. Sometimes when I'll be very honest, like if people who come in and they don't really fit in and start complaining about this, that, and we actually go up to them and tell them this is like our home and this is our community bar. Like if you all are really not fitting in, I don't mind to say to them, but you can really leave, because if it's not good, if you don't like it, then we can't really help it, because we want to keep that source of it being a part of our heritage. We don't want our culture to change to what you want us to become, is what we would want to preserve. And I would want it to be the same. Like even after I come with my walking stick, I would still want there to be admas on the menu and a tongue roast which people are eating. So, yeah.
But our customers are like a family to this point, because they'll always come, they'll make sure to grab a hug and they'll make sure to come and ask how you are, get us a lot of gifts. We've got a lot of gifts from people, like cakes.
I'm wearing a shirt also, which is a gift.
But yeah, that bond is very important to be kept, I feel. Like it's my job sometimes because I'm the face, I'm out there. But talking to them, sitting with them, taking a picture with them, that is something that kind of works out here.
No, it also was, when this place started off, it started off as, we started it off thinking that, okay, it's going to help the business and help us with our pockets and a little bit, in the running of things. But eventually it became where, I would pour them a drink and then go and sit at their table, and then they would tell me one of their wildest stories of their lives. And, I would always just be, this is great, man, running a business is really good. And then, I
don't
started
have to go anywhere out. We get
all of this here, and then we would meet and started like today. I think I can proudly say most of my friend circles also that are there are people who I met at my own bar.
Yeah.
And even during that time, like I still remember, I've met a lot of people who were served by my grandfather, and they've got really, really great stories as well. People who they've met at the bar and fallen in love.
Yeah, they used to write letters. They used to come here, used to give each other a letter, and then
so he used to send a letter. her a letter to our house saying we'll
Yeah.
meet at Cajy Bar at so and so date and you should be here, and he would come and sit early, and then she would show up and they sat, and then they, there are various love stories that I met back then where we've united people, we brought them together at one single place by my grandfather, and then there's now where even till today I know so many people who've met at the bar and even got married now.
and have a child.
Yeah,
as
they have
well.
a child as well now. But like, it's like we're still carrying forward that thing of uniting people at the bar. So I think that just makes you happy sometimes. It makes you cry also. Yeah. You're like, oh, they are mentioning it in the toast. So yeah. You need to show people what your state culture was about. And like, it might be anything. It might be theaters, it might be a bar, it might be a restaurant, it might be, a small shack at the beach. You gotta go to the root as to why did you actually start this shack? Like, did you want your friends to come? Did you want your people to be here? Did you want your cuisine to be tasted by the foreigners and the tourists coming here? And I think once you start to figure that out, you'll actually strike gold, because Goa's culture is so diverse that you can't even finish it within a year. Like, you'll have to go through so many things to just even have the amount of culture that's actually in this one place, because everybody visits it for it. Even after there's so much commercialization, you still can't destroy it. Like, it's still there, the essence is still there. You roaming on your bike on that lonely Parra road also still makes you feel like wow, I'm in another place. And I think people are going to get it the moment they want to revive their business. You just have to go to the root of it, because like, Goa is beautiful in itself.
It's fun.
It's fun.
How
Yeah.
do you like it? Tell me, say.
Really enjoy it. And I'm happy with my children also. They're really great job. And they're happy with me. So we're all happy together doing this business.
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's your family coming together. I think it gave us a huge push start from where we were. Like, initially, me being the little bit elder brother one, I had a lot of responsibility on my shoulders, and I was like, I want to provide for my family, this, that, and I think kind of God only provided for it through this business. And like, it came together really well. Like, today also, I'm really proud of all of us that we run this business
Together, and also
Yeah.
we've seen the ups and downs together.
Yeah, we've seen everything together, going up, going
I
down.
feel like our bond also with that has got so closer because we spend half of our day together.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.